My root problem with Celestia is that she's supposed to be all-knowing, all-caring, all-powerful, and I think they want us to believe she's benevolent. It sounds like an easy sell, but when life in Equestria is just turning completely to crap, you really have to wonder why our princess deemed it necessary to trust the threat of the moon demigoddess threatening to shroud the world in eternal darkness in the hands of the socially awkward bookworm, the shy animal caretaker, the fashionista, the cocky athlete, the workhorse, and the Pinkie Pie. And then she shows up at the very end, and then she's like, "Oh, my student, I knew all this would happen, but I knew you could do it." And yeah, you can make the argument, but Twilight found friends, and they realized their inner potential and the magic and the power they hold and the magic of friendship that saved the day. But then you go to the season 2 finale, where throughout the whole show, we get this build up, somewhat build up of Celestia being caring and knowledgeable and powerful. Yet she completely turns her back on Twilight, which is like a middle finger to everybody, to Twilight herself. And then she gets her shit slapped by Chrysalis. And yeah, I know Chrysalis was disguising herself as Cadence and everything, but given everything that's happened, you would think that Celestia would trust all Twilight's every word at this point, just as Twilight trusts hers. And yeah, I know Chrysalis was using the power of Shining Armor and Cadence's love, but come on. I know were supposed to believe that they rule the kingdom 50-50, Celestia and Luna. But you gotta think, it's pretty much a 70-30 at this point. So I'm not saying there's no reason why she could have been beaten, why she should have been beaten, but she shouldn't have been beaten so easily because she's Celestia. And then in the season 3 premiere, Luna's ready to go in there with the main six and give him an edge of power that they might need in order to stop Sombra. But she's just like, "Ugh, sister, let my student handle this." And Luna's just like, mm. And I'm just like, why do you deprive us of Luna? The thing about Celestia, which is why people are so divided on her, is because she wants us to believe that the ends justify the means. And which is really sketchy, lady, because she puts the whole fate of Equestria and she leaves it up to chance. She leaves her faith in the hands of where it could pass or it could fail. Like Twilight during the whole season 3 premiere, you see she's stressing out about what to do, about her test, about this and about that. But Celeste's just like, "You can do it." But Twilight's still like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh," which and yeah, which is why Spike was the reason why he was the reason why the day was saved, because Twilight realized that the test doesn't matter, and that was the point of Celestia, to realize it wasn't a test. So I think things could have turned out better. I mean, maybe Spike wouldn't have been the hero, but better that than to just cop out at the end and say, "Better my student be selfless than selfish." It's a good lesson, but the trauma that Celestia puts Twilight through on lesson 0, it's just ridiculous. We're supposed to believe she's all caring, she's all loving and all that, but why does Twilight fear her so much? I get she's the princess, but Celestia is essentially a surrogate mother to Twilight. She trusts her and she loves her. I'm not talking, but she loves her. So why does she fear her so much? Celestia must have done something in the past, or there's something Twilight knows about her that makes Celestia so feared by her. Unfortunately, consequently, Celestia also has the best Ask Me Tumblr, but that's beside the point. And then Luna participates more in the show than Celestia. Now the reasons why is because in season 2, she willingly goes to Ponyville to associate with the subjects. It doesn't turn out perfectly well, but she still tries. In season 3, she's ready to go to battle. Also in season 3, we learn that she goes into the dreams of her subjects to make sure they're dreaming peacefully. That's really heavy when you think about it. So, Celestia isn't a bad person, but but the reason why I like Luna more is because she just seems to care more. She doesn't leave everything up to chance. It may look her out to be like she doesn't have that much faith in her students or her subjects or anything, but she's smart enough to know to not leave the Mufasa unicorn look-alike up to the hands of six misfits, a dragon, um, an ill alicorn, and shining armor. Because we all know shining armor is essentially useless, and that's why I don't like Celestia. Luna's better, and she should have won the election. I'm out.